My upload today for the 20th of the 5th, 2020 is basically with regard to circumstances regarding research and development and with regard to advancements and research in particular that I've read about in the area of artificial intelligence. The role of artificial intelligence and truth-seeking and justice is a very interesting topic, as anyone with any knowledge of it or any experience of it would be aware of. Unfortunately, there's the aspect of the developments and research of any individuals involved in progress that conduct their work unethically and unprofessionally. The issues that I'm concerned about with regards to such developments is when basically those that are availing of AI techniques are basically misusing those techniques. This brings me to the topic of bodily integrity, and it brings me to the topic of information and the use of information and the misuse of information and the attainment of information. The issue of laws as they are to maintain the rights of citizens and to safeguard the rights of citizens in society is basically the guideline for any society in maintaining peace and securing safety for all citizens. The abuse of power and the abuse of research and development findings to monopolize a situation and to harm another person or another citizen's stance or position in society is contrary to the ethics and the intentions of what most research and studies have found to be the objective of AI in the role of justice. So as a victim of crime or a victim of hate crime that has experienced very severe violations and victimization, I find it very concerning that protection that a citizen is entitled to is intentionally withheld in order to safeguard and prioritise wrongdoers and offenders of a constitution or of a set of laws of any country or society. So, as I've mentioned, the offences I've experienced have been very wide and varied. I've been very severely victimised, and there has been an awful vendetta that I'm still experiencing, perpetrated in a small community. As a person that has submitted the formal complaints, procedural documents to the relevant bodies, and to still have this circumstance occurring is a very sad sign of the times. There have, as I've mentioned, been very defamatory claims made to or made by individuals perpetrating hate crime and more serious offences. The wrongdoings that I've experienced have been inexcusable and have been as such an entire assault of human rights and my constitutional rights. Basically, the protection measures for law-abiding citizens are afforded to those that are being victimised and violated in society. For a collectively orchestrated attempt of individuals to make false claims and to target an individual that they have perpetrated very serious offences against, and against an individual that they have obstructed the constitutional rights of due to their own bad behaviours and misconduct, is breeding a very serious issue for not just the circumstances that are presently occurring, but also for future circumstances. So basically, this upload is with regards to the obstruction of justice, those targeting their victims with falsehoods and basically worsening their offences and wrongdoings. So, as a victim of hate crime, living on my own, that has been violated so severely, that has experienced all of my constitutional rights being harmed and disrespected, I'm very concerned that authorities and politicians have not confronted the issues that I'm experiencing. What is even more concerning is that even within the past 3 years, the very serious unlawfulness that has been occurring from many perspectives, from a legal perspective, from a spiritual perspective, the entire vendetta that has been perpetrated is very concerning, very concerning that an innocent woman, a law abiding citizen, a qualified teacher, a victim of hate crime, a victim of revenge porn, a victim of sexual assault, a victim of marital desertion and adultery, and offences that were perpetrated against me due to hate crime are being facilitated. So it's seemingly appearing that it's not so much about what you know with regards to the legalities of wrongdoings and the legalities of policies and procedures that are there in place to protect and guide people to professionally conduct all matters that are relevant in these circumstances. There has been a total lack of respect for the policies and procedures and ethics with the bodies that are involved in this vendetta, and to safeguard those that have offended a victim that has recovered and that has been experiencing very serious medical negligence is highly concerning in a day and age of progress. So, for those conducting research and development in the name of progress that haven't adhered to professional standards and that have perpetrated very serious offences, it's a very sad sign of the times that a target or a victim has not been safeguarded in society. The exploitation that has occurred and arisen from my circumstances have been unethical, to say the least. The practices have been unethical, the procedures have been ignored, and the defamation and the false claims that have been claimed and submitted by these individuals is very serious for a victim to be enduring. So I'm just wondering how the authorities and the politicians with a vision for New Ireland are safeguarding citizens such as myself, a teacher, a deserted wife, a victim of legal violations and obstructions of justice that is enduring people power that is in effect an abuse of power. So I have not received the acknowledgements that I have sought from the relevant ombudsman and the relevant agencies, and yet as a victim, those that have been guilty in this vendetta have not just violated my privacy, have not just continued with their false claims, have not just you know, disrespected the constitutional rights of an adult citizen, but have continued to cause a very embarrassing situation. So, as I mentioned in my upload yesterday, there's the issue of medical incompetence, there's the issue of defamation going back to 2005, there's the issue of marital desertion. So, all of these issues that I've been trying to rectify on my own without the advocacy or support or services that I'm entitled to, have been swept under the carpet to safeguard guilty, unprofessional and unethical and immoral individuals. So this is the second vendetta that I've experienced in 15 years. and the initial vendetta of defamation back to 2005 has been exacerbated. So when professionals are perpetrating these kind of vendettas, it leads me to worry and be concerned about the level of maturity, the level of maturity and the level of professionalism that they're displaying. So that's my upload for today. Research and development is all very positive, but when it is unethically conducted and when it hasn't been, very positive or progressive for all citizens, the outcomes are quite concerning. So as I've mentioned, experienced identity theft, financial theft, and defamation and false claimants in a vendetta of hate crime. Revenge porn and hate crime are very serious matters to be contending with in the midst of medical incompetence also occurring. So I'm wondering how the authorities and the politicians are going to address the offenders that are disrespecting the Constitution, that are thinking they're above the law, that are not taking responsibility for their wrongdoings, and that are exacerbating their initial wrongdoings with even worse incidents of disrespecting a victim of revenge porn and hate crime. So as regards safety measures and protective measures for citizens such as myself, that is fully entitled to my constitutional rights being respected, I'm wondering how the wrongdoings are being circumvented or being acknowledged or rectified. A person in circumstances such as this is lawfully entitled to a protection order from the state. I've sought my protection order, and the offences have been continuous by those individuals that have necessitated the need for me to request a protection order. So I'm just wondering what's happening with the law and constitution of a democracy when these kind of vendettas are being facilitated. That's as much as I'll say for this upload. There's been very serious harm and defamatory claims caused and made. And as regards women and their safety in society, it's a very sad sign of the times when adultery and desertion and defamation and disinformation are being facilitated from a person that are from persons, individuals that have exploited and monopolized a situation that has been unethically perpetrated.